morning, everybody. My name is Morgan Durrance, and tonight we're diving into a fascinating study that sheds light on how we perceive addiction. Researchers Nicole Henderson and William Dresser tackled this complex issue in their article, Medical Disease or Moral Defect, Stigma Attribution and Cultural Models of Addiction Casualty in the University Population. The work conducted among university students reveals some eye-opening insights about the stigma surrounding addiction. Their research highlights that addiction is a critical health issue when overshadowing by stigma. The study involved surveying students about the origins of addiction, distinguish between personal responsibilities and broader influences, such as genetics or environment. The findings revealed a mix of opinions, with some studies viewing addiction as a disease while others saw it as a moral flaw. Notably, those leaning towards the moral defect perspective with more prone to stigmatize individuals struggling with addiction. In conclusion, Henderson and Dresser suggest that these ingrained cultural beliefs significantly fuel stigma. They advocate for public health initiatives to foster a deeper understanding of addiction's multi-surface causes. This, they argue, is essential to diminish stigma and enhance support for those affected, potentially reshaping public's attitudes and healthcare approaches. Hi everybody, tonight we're continuing our in-depth coverage of substance addiction, building on insights from a previous report. As we discussed, the central question is substance addiction primarily a medical condition or a moral failing? Now, a new systematic review by Barada and colleagues offers a fresh perspective on this debate. The study, a comprehensive analysis of existing research, reveals a persistent tension between these two viewpoints. Why scientific understanding increasingly points to biological and psychological factors, moral judgments continue to shape public attitudes. The researchers found that this moral framing significantly hinders effective prevention and treatment efforts. They argue that we need a more integrated approach, one that acknowledges the multi-faced nature of addiction and promotes policies that reduce stigma and support evidence-based interventions. This support and perspective, they say, is crucial for improving outcomes and fostering a more compassionate and effective response to substance addiction. This is particularly relevant in light that some students view addiction as a disease, while others saw it as a moral flaw. Those leaning towards the moral defect perspective view more prone to stigmatize, which highlights that addiction is a critical health issue often overshadowed by stigma. Together, these insights underscore the urgent need for a more informed and compassionate approach to address. Now, having explored the scientific and academic perspectives, we turn to our community to understand how these issues play out in real life. We took to the streets of residents of Port St. Lucie, asking, is addiction a moral failing or a mental disease? Let's hear what they have to say.
How are you today? What is your name?
Robert Lowry.
I am Melissa. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Melissa. Nice to meet you.
We'll be asking you some questions today on addiction. When you hear the word addiction, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I suppose a loss of control of an individual to a substance or behavior. If someone is addicted to something, they simply have less control over their behavior than they normally would. Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, it's not the normal state of things.
Have you or someone you know ever been affected by addiction?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sure. Well, in my family, there's a fair amount of alcoholism, so there's that.
What do you think are the biggest challenges facing people struggling with addiction these days?
Suppose changing their circumstances to facilitate getting out of a situation where there is an addiction. I've known people who were having a major addiction and who would love to kind of get out of it, but they are in situations that their home life or their job or their just environment, peers, friends, etc., that make it difficult for them to actually get away from that. The difficult things is to provide a way for people to step out of their circumstances to get into a situation that is
like step
healthy.
Out of their comfort zone, you know. Do you believe addiction is primarily a matter of personal choice, moral weakness, or is it more like a disease?
Like in the first two are more or less the same thing.
Right.
They are saying that it's something that you are having a heavy hand in choice. I would say that it's more of the third option, because your choice ultimately falls away. That's the hard part of it, is that a lot of your decision-making ability is being affected. While making hard decisions is something someone can do for anything.
Right.
Your behavior is more than just a matter of making decisions. It's also a matter of dealing with, I mean, in the case of some addictions like heroin, cocaine, things like this, these are very, very strong chemical urges.
Disease, yeah, and for people that want to get better, they tend to do, well in the beginning for a little while, but then due to life circumstances and situations, they tend to fall back on their progress, and that is, has to do a lot with social influences and that kind of thing as well, or just, society as a whole. Yeah. Okay.
Although, there's great success cases all over the place.
Oh, no, yeah. But I feel like it's a maintenance. You got to work at it every day.
Yeah, big time.
You got to keep up with it. Okay, well, thank you so much for interviewing me today.
Absolutely.
You have a great day.
Thanks a lot.
Be well.
Hello, you're here with Natalie Hill, and I'm with
Shania Dupree.
and we're just asking some questions about drug abuse. Well, when you hear the word addiction, what's the first thing that comes to
I think
mind?
of drugs and drinking.
And have you or someone you know has been affected by addiction?
Yes, I have.
And what challenges are the biggest? Like, what challenges do people face struggling addiction?
Trying to get help and having the willpower to do everyday tasks.
And do you believe like addiction is primarily a matter of personal choice, like a moral weakness, or is it more like a disease?
A moral weakness. Everybody has a choice to do what's right and what's wrong. But, some people just choose to do it because it's the thing to do nowadays. Or maybe they're dealing with stuff, so they feel like that's the easiest way out of their problems.
Nice. Yeah, I agree. What kind of a support do you think people with addiction need the most?
Definitely like their family or their friends. I feel like you need to be around people who will support you and not just drag you down deeper with them. Misery loves company, so just make sure you're around people that can actually help you and benefit you, and always lean on God for that as well.
And do you think our community is doing enough to help people struggling with addiction?
I mean, on social media, you see people like give people money or buy them food, but I feel like we really need to keep like these drug dealers out of the streets. Like, we really need to try and prevent. Let's do over.
Why did you scream?
We can cut that out.
We can cut that out.
Okay,
She
keep
can
going.
edit that out.
Okay, keep going.
She's gonna edit it out. We hope.
All right. Do you want me to stop it and then we cut it out right here?
We can continue.
Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice. And what advice do you give someone who's struggling with addiction?
That when you lean on God and you really give all your anxieties to Him, it'll make everything better. It will take some time to adjust to your new reality, but at the same time, it's what's helping you, it's helping your mind, it's helping yourself. So, try to find some strength to stop, to quit.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, I do have some questions I want to ask you. When you hear the word addiction, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Drugs.
Anything else besides drugs, like what the side effects are for you or how they make you feel?
Something that you can't go without on a daily basis.
So you create a habit, right?
Correct.
And you feel like the urge to want whatever drug of choice it is, you want more and more.
Correct.
And you pretty much try to go to all ends to try to, obtain the drug.
Oh yeah. I mean, you go from selling everything you have to stealing and so forth.
Okay. And then I have another question here for you. Have you or someone you know ever been affected by addiction?
Yes.
And who may those people be in your life?
Siblings, friends, mainly friends.
Mainly friends. Okay. Any parents or anything
No.
for you?
No.
Okay. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing people struggling with addiction?
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. What do you think are the biggest challenges facing people struggling with addiction? Like, what would be a big personal challenge for you would say?
I would say it would have to be trying to stay away from the people that I get it from, or
Right.
people get it from.
So you would like try to just stay away, avoid certain places that would probably raise a trigger for you,
Correct.
you would say?
Yeah.
You want to elaborate a little bit more on that?
I mean, like I said, trying to stay away from the people that, you get it from, and usually would be friends, and
It would probably mean having to change your whole social
you would
cycle.
have to, exactly.
Right. Okay, good one. Let's see here. Do you believe addiction is primarily a matter of personal choice and moral weakness, or is it more like a disease for you?
A disease.
And why?
We do make the choice of wanting, we have the choice to or not to do the drug that is being done.
Kind of like a self-will, if you will.
So that that's a choice, and the choice that you make, if it's a yes, then you go ahead and do it. It's more a disease than anything, because once you do it, taste it, then you get
Your
addicted,
urge kind
and the
of, yeah.
urge to keep wanting to keep looking for that same